Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. We are studying Cambridge International AS and A-level mathematics. Syllabus code of which is 9709. Today is our lesson number 5. So let's begin. We are studying pure mathematics. It's paper 1 and first topic of this paper, which is quadratics. Today we will sketch the graph of quadratic function. Lesson objectives are that after this lesson you will be able to sketch the graph of quadratic function using completed square form. You know how to write the expression in completed square form, and you have learned the different parts of the graph from the completed square form in the previous lessons. If you are asked to sketch the graph of this quadratic function ax square plus bx plus c, so the steps involved in sketching the graph are, instead of completing the table, we will find some informations from the completed square form to sketch the graph. What are the steps? The first step is that we will write the given expression in completed square form if it is not written in completed square form, like this. Then we will find x-intercept. X-intercepts are the points where graph cuts x-axis. There may be 2 points at which graph cuts x-axis. There may be 1 point and there may be no point. If there is no point, so you cannot be able to find the x-intercept, so do not confuse yourself. There may be 2 points, there may be 1 point, and there may not be any point where graph cuts x-axis. Finally, y-intercept, you will find y-intercept by putting x is equal to 0 and solve it for y. In this you will put x equal to 0 and solve to get the value of y, which will be your y-intercept, the point where graph cuts y-axis. Then you will find maximum and minimum value, whichever applies, and the coordinates of the vertex. You know, when the coefficient of x square is positive, the parabola opens up. If parabola opens up, then there is minimum value of the graph, and if the coefficient of x square is negative, then parabola opens down and graph has maximum value, and this maximum or minimum value is the value of q in completed square forms. You will find this value and the coordinates of the vertex, which will be pq. You will change the sign. If sign of p is negative, you will change it p and you will keep the sign of q. PQ will be the coordinates of the vertex. Then you will find the equation of the line of symmetry. You know that when we put this expression equal to 0, x minus p equal to 0, and then x is equal to p is the equation of the line of symmetry. If there is x plus p, then x is equal to minus p will be the equation of line of symmetry. So you will find equation of line of symmetry from completed square form, and then you will examine the behavior of the function when x tends to plus infinity or minus infinity. So if a is greater than 0, y will tend to positive infinity, and if a is less than 0, y will tends to negative infinity. For this condition, x tends to positive infinity and negative infinity. So finding these 6 informations from this completed square form, you can sketch the graph. You will mark these 2 points on the graph, this point on the graph, this point on the graph. You will draw by drawing this line of the graph, which will help you in drawing the graph which is symmetrical about this line, and this of course will also help you. Let's see an example and sketch the graph of that example. If you are asked to sketch the graph of f of x is equal to 5 plus 4x minus x square. So first step is we will write this in completed square form. You will use the method which we have already studied to write this expression in completed square form, which will be like this: 9 minus x minus 2 whole square. We will find x intercept by putting y equal to 0 in this equation, expression or function. When put y equal to 0, the right hand side will be equal to 0. Solving this for x, we will get x is equal to minus 1 and 5. So f of x cuts, that is this function cuts x axis at 5 0 and minus 1 0. So first information is this: we will label these 2 points on the graph. Then we will find y intercept, that is the point where graph cuts y axis, by putting x is equal to 0 in this. When we will put x is equal to 0, we will get 9 minus 4, and 9 minus 4 is 5. So this is the point where graph cuts y axis. So f of x cuts y axis at 0, 5. This is the second information. We will label this point on the graph. Then we will find maximum or minimum value. As we know that the coefficient of x square is negative, so parabola will open down. If parabola opens down, then that has a maximum value, and maximum value is this value of q, which is 9 in this case, and this occurs when x is equal to 2. Putting x minus 2 equal to 0, we will get x is equal to 2. So the vertex is 2 9. Coordinates of the vertex are 2 9 by changing the sign of p and keeping the sign of q as it is. So these are the coordinates of vertex. The line of symmetry. To find the line of symmetry, we will put this expression under square equal to 0, x minus 2 equal to 0, and this will give us x is equal to 2. So this is the equation of the line of symmetry. And behavior of the curve: when x tends to positive infinity, y tends to negative infinity. When x tends to negative infinity, y tends to negative infinity, because parabola opens down, so these ends will approach negative infinity. So keeping these informations in mind, we can sketch the graph. You can draw these lines using scale, and these you can mark these points by using scale symmetrical on a plain paper to sketch the graph. Now on this graph, mark these information. The x-intercepts are minus 1 0 and 5 0. Y-intercept is 0 5. Maximum value is 2 9. 9 is the maximum value, and the coordinates of the vertex are 2 9. And the behavior is that y tends to negative infinity. Join these points, this point, y-intercept and maximum value, to complete one part of this curve, and this will be symmetrical on the other side, and join this and produce on this side. So this will be the graph of this function by using these informations. Join these points smoothly to get the graph of the function 5 plus 4x minus x square, and label this graph. This is your required graph which we have plotted by using these informations. Hope this is clear. Have a look, please. Now you will try these questions. F of x is equal to 2x square minus x minus 6, and f of x is equal to minus x square minus x plus 20. Sketch the graph of these two. The answers of these questions will be given in the next lesson. Exam technique number 5. Look at the marks awarded for each stage of a question. The marks are good indicator of the number of stages in a solution and possibly a rough guide to the amount of time to spend on a question. This is my profile, my YouTube channel. You are requested to subscribe this channel, and once again I request you to like or dislike the lecture by clicking like button or dislike button. You can send me your problems at this WhatsApp number. Thank you for watching. Allah Hafiz.